Hello, this is Wine Story and I'm Jay. Today I'm going to talk about step-by-step wine tasting. Let's get right into it. First, you can check the color by doing this. Why do we need to check the color? We can already check the condition of the wine. If it's very young vintage wine and some of the color looks very dark for white wine or brownish for red wine, that wine can be faulty. But if wine is deliberately oxidated, this can happen too. Also, we can check the age of the wine. For white wine, it usually starts from lemon color to gold, amber, and brown in order. For red wine, it usually goes from purple to ruby, garnet, tawny, and brown in order. Also, for white wine color intensity, it goes from pale to deep, and vice versa to red wine. But on top of this, it's also very important to simply enjoy the color. We drink wine to enjoy it. Just like when companies make logos or products, they care so much about color, and wineries also care a lot when making wine with grapes, so it's worth appreciating the color of the wine. Secondly, you check the nose. Allow your nose to drink all the aroma of a wine, but don't put your nose too close to the wine, almost like touching it. Then your nose might look like the bloody nose with red wine. Well, with white wine, maybe it's fine. To do this, you need enough air to be inside a wine glass. Without the air, you can't really smell any because air conveys the aroma to your nose. Anyway, now it's time to analyze all different aromas. You can describe how it smells like. It is compounds of all different aromas, and you can divide them into all separate ones. For instance, I can describe this wine as aromas of kiwi, apple, vanilla, butter, my friend's armpit. Here you see the problem. Unless everyone has smelled that person's armpit, we do not know what that is. So it's better to say aroma descriptions that people can guess or understand. I will upload another video about these descriptions in more detail. Lastly and finally, it is time to let the wine explore your mouth. Let wine go through every corner of your mouth's receptors. This way you can taste every part of the wine. You can check sweetness, acidity, tannin, alcohol, body, finish, and so on. Sweetness can be often deceiving with a very sweet aroma. Smell the cake or vanilla with all the memories of your past. Your brain makes you think it's sweet even if one tried to mess up with you and didn't put any sugar. Still, you might be able to even taste it as sort of sweet. This happens with wine often. You taste it and think it's a bit sweet, but try to hold your nose and taste it. You wouldn't feel the sweet flavor if it's the dry wine. Acidity is also deceiving sometimes, especially with the sweet wine. Because of sweetness, you don't really feel it's tart. But your mouth can detect it like a detective. Soon enough, the mouth releases a well of saliva. Tannin is also important for red wine. If it's solely too high, it can be very tough to drink. Also, tannin itself can be diverse from very smooth, fine tannin to covering your mouth as if your mouth is a table and very tight filling. Body is pretty much the weight of the wine. You feel more body in milk compared to water. So if the wine is full of alcohol, tannin, sugar, you'll definitely find the wine fullest body. A good tip to taste wine is that you slurp. All this acidity, tannin, and so on are your tongue's job, but the flavor is still mostly nose's job. So by slurping, you bring the air into your back of the mouth where you actually can smell without receptors. But be careful not to let the wine come to your breathing tube. You know what happens, right? Here's another step left, in my opinion, very important one, is to talk about wine with others while drinking it together. It makes your experience more fruitful and glamorous and enjoyable. Alright, that was it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.